Hey everyone, Travel Treasures here, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're about to embark on a culinary and cultural adventure to the enchanting country of Turkey. From the sun-kissed shores of the Aegean Sea to the bustling streets of Istanbul, Turkey is a land of vibrant history, breathtaking landscapes, and mouth-watering cuisine. In this video, we'll be your guide, sharing insider tips and essential advice to make your Turkish escapade unforgettable. So buckle up, and let's dive into the 10 things you should never do in Turkey. Alright, let's kick things off with our first and arguably most important point, showing respect to Mustafa Kemal Ataturk. Ataturk was the founder of the Republic of Turkey, a revolutionary leader who played a pivotal role in shaping modern Turkish society. He's deeply revered by the Turkish people, and rightfully so. Think of it like this. Imagine visiting America and openly disrespecting George Washington or Abraham Lincoln. Disrespecting him, his legacy or his image is taken very seriously and can even have legal consequences. So when you see his statues, portraits, or his name mentioned, take a moment to appreciate the significance he holds in the hearts of the Turkish people. Traveling is not just about seeing new places, it's about connecting with different cultures and respecting their values. Trust me, a little respect goes a long way in making your journey through Turkey even more meaningful. Okay, moving on to our next point, dress code etiquette, particularly when visiting religious sites like mosques. Turkey is a predominantly Muslim country with a rich Islamic heritage, and mosques hold immense spiritual significance. When you visit these sacred spaces, it's crucial to dress modestly as a sign of respect. For men, this means wearing long pants and shirts that cover your shoulders. For women, it's customary to cover your head with a scarf and wear loose-fitting clothing that covers your arms and legs. Many mosques provide scarves at the entrance, but it's always a good idea to carry your own just in case. Think of it like this. Imagine being invited to someone's home for dinner. You wouldn't want to show up in your pajamas, right? Dressing modestly is a way of showing respect for the sanctity of these religious spaces and the beliefs of the people who cherish them. So, be prepared and respectful when visiting these beautiful places of worship. Alright, let's move on to a slightly more sensitive topic: politics. When traveling to a foreign country, it's best to steer clear of sensitive political discussions. Turkey, like many countries, has its own complex political landscape, and certain topics can be a bit of a minefield. Instead of diving headfirst into controversial conversations, focus on the amazing cultural exchange that travel offers. Engage with locals on a personal level. Ask about their lives, their traditions, their favorite local spots. You'll be amazed at the connections you can make by simply being open and curious. While it's important to stay informed about global affairs, let's save the intense political debates for another time and place. Chapter 4. Don't show public displays of affection. Now, I know in many Western cultures, holding hands, hugging, or even kissing in public is completely normal. But in Turkey, particularly in more conservative areas, it's best to keep the PDA to a minimum. Turkish culture, influenced by its Islamic roots, tends to be more reserved when it comes to public displays of affection. While holding hands as a couple might be acceptable in larger cities, excessive hugging or kissing in public could be met with disapproval or make some locals uncomfortable. Remember, when we travel, we're guests in someone else's country, and it's essential to be mindful of their customs and traditions. So, when in Turkey, keep the romantic gestures to a minimum while you're out and about. Save the cuddles and kisses for private settings where you can fully express your affection without unintentionally offending anyone. Chapter 5. Don't enter a home with shoes on. Alright, let's move on to a custom that's not only practical but also deeply ingrained in Turkish culture: removing your shoes before entering someone's home. Think of it this way: your home is your sanctuary, a clean and personal space where you relax and unwind. In Turkish culture, this sense of cleanliness and respect for one's home is paramount. Bringing in dirt and grime from the outside world is seen as disrespectful and unhygienic. So, when you're invited into someone's home in Turkey, always remember to remove your shoes at the entrance. You'll usually find a designated area for shoes or a rack where you can leave them. This simple act of removing your shoes shows your host that you respect their home and their customs. Chapter 6. Don't ignore Ramadan etiquette. Alright, let's talk about Ramadan, the holiest month in the Islamic calendar. During Ramadan, Muslims abstain from eating and drinking from dawn until sunset. As a visitor, it's crucial to be respectful of this practice, especially in more conservative areas. While you're not expected to fast yourself, it's considered polite to avoid eating, drinking, or chewing gum openly in public during fasting hours. Many restaurants and cafes might have altered hours or menus during Ramadan, so it's always a good idea to check in advance. Remember, Ramadan is a time of spiritual significance for Muslims, and showing sensitivity and respect during this holy month is crucial. By being mindful of local customs, you can ensure a harmonious and enriching travel experience for both yourself and those around you. Alright, let's talk about Turkish food, and trust me, this is a topic I could talk about for hours. Now I know what you might be thinking, kebabs, right? And while kebabs are undeniably delicious and a staple of Turkish cuisine, they're just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the incredible diversity and richness of Turkish food. Turkish cuisine is a vibrant tapestry of flavors, influenced by centuries of history, diverse cultures, and regional specialties. From the savory pastries of the Aegean coast to the hearty stews of Anatolia, every region in Turkey boasts its own unique culinary treasures. So, when you're exploring the culinary landscape of Turkey, don't limit yourself to just kebabs. Venture beyond the familiar and dive into the world of mezes, small plates designed for sharing, each bursting with unique flavors and textures. And let's not forget about Turkish delight, those melt-in-your-mouth sweets that come in a kaleidoscope of colors and flavors. Okay, let's talk about something crucial for your health and well-being while traveling in Turkey: drinking water. While tap water in major cities like Istanbul and Ankara is generally considered safe to drink, it's always better to err on the side of caution, especially when you're venturing into more rural areas. The water quality in Turkey can vary from region to region, and even if it's treated, it might contain minerals or bacteria that your stomach isn't used to, potentially leading to an upset stomach or traveler's diarrhea. So, to stay on the safe side, stick to bottled water throughout your trip. Bottled water is readily available everywhere in Turkey, from supermarkets to convenience stores, and it's a small investment that can save you a lot of discomfort in the long run. And here's a little tip. When you're ordering water at a restaurant, always specify that you want su, which means water in Turkish. Alright, let's talk about shopping in Turkey, particularly in the bustling bazaars and markets where haggling is part of the experience. While bargaining is expected and encouraged in Turkey, it's important to approach it with the right attitude. Think of haggling as a friendly exchange, a dance between buyer and seller, rather than a battle to be won. Start by offering a price that's lower than what you're willing to pay, but don't be ridiculous. The key is to be respectful, polite, and good-natured throughout the process. Smile, make eye contact, and engage in lighthearted banter. If you can't agree on a price, it's perfectly acceptable to walk away. Sometimes the act of walking away is all it takes for the seller to reconsider their price. Alright, let's wrap things up with a crucial aspect of traveling respectfully in any country: being mindful of local etiquette. Turkey, with its rich history and diverse cultural influences, has its own set of customs and traditions that vary from region to region. While we've covered some general do's and don'ts in this video, it's always a good idea to do a little research beforehand about the specific regions you'll be visiting. What's considered polite in one area might be frowned upon in another. The best way to navigate these cultural nuances is to observe and learn from the locals. Pay attention to how they interact with each other, how they dress, and how they behave in different situations. So there you have it, my friends, 10 things you should never do in Turkey. Turkish people are incredibly welcoming and forgiving. They understand that not everyone is familiar with their customs, and they appreciate the effort you make to respect their culture. Just remember to be open-minded, respectful, and always err on the side of caution. Turkey is an incredible country with so much to offer, from its stunning landscapes and ancient ruins to its delicious food and warm hospitality. Until next time, safe travels and happy eating.